The vast expanse of space had always called to humanity, its endless frontier beckoning explorers and dreamers alike. But on that fateful day in 2047, as the first human interstellar expedition neared the outskirts of Alpha Centauri, no one could have predicted the monumental shift about to occur in humanity's place in the cosmos. Captain Ilara Chen stood on the bridge of the ISV Horizon, Earth's most advanced starship, gazing out at the alien star system before them. Her dark eyes, flecked with determination, scanned the readings flooding the holographic displays surrounding her command chair. "Dr. Reeves," she called out to her chief science officer, "are you seeing this?" Dr. Marcus Reeves, a lanky man with a perpetually furrowed brow, nodded emphatically. "It's unprecedented, Captain. The energy readings from that fourth planet. They're off the charts. It has to be artificial in origin." Ilara's pulse quickened. This was it, the moment humanity had been waiting for since they first looked up at the stars. "Helm, take us in closer. Tactical, keep our defenses primed, just in case. Communications, broadcast our first contact protocols on all frequencies." As the horizon approached the mysterious planet, its true nature became clear. It wasn't a natural formation at all, but a colossal space station, easily dwarfing anything humanity had ever constructed. Its surface gleamed with an otherworldly iridescence, and massive energy conduits pulsed with power. Suddenly, the ship's communications array crackled to life. A melodious, almost musical voice filled the bridge, speaking in perfect English. "Greetings, travelers from Earth. We are the Zarthans, and we welcome you to our outpost in this system." A collective gasp went up from the crew. The aliens not only knew who they were but spoke their language fluently. Ilara composed herself quickly, responding with the carefully prepared first contact message. "Greetings, Zarthans. We come in peace, seeking knowledge and friendship. Your journey is known to us." The alien voice continued. "We have observed your civilization for some time. Please, dock with our station. We have much to discuss." As the horizon maneuvered towards the indicated docking port, Ilara couldn't shake a feeling of unease. How long had these aliens been watching humanity, and why reveal themselves now? The docking procedure went smoothly, a testament to the advanced technology of the Zarthans. As the airlock cycled, Ilara led a small delegation to meet their alien hosts. The corridor beyond was bathed in a soft, azure light that seemed to emanate from the walls themselves. They didn't have to wait long before the Zarthans appeared. The aliens were tall, easily 7 feet in height, with slender, graceful bodies covered in fine, iridescent scales. Their faces were vaguely humanoid, but with large, multifaceted eyes that shimmered with intelligence. The lead Zarthan stepped forward, bowing slightly. "I am Zorax, overseer of this outpost. Welcome to Zarthan space, Captain Chen." Ilara returned the gesture, marveling at how the alien knew her name and rank. "Thank you, Overseer Zorax. We're honored to make your acquaintance. I must admit, we're curious about how you've come to know so much about us." Zorax's expression was unreadable, but there was a note of amusement in his voice. "Your species has been of great interest to us for some time. Your rapid technological advancement, your resilience in the face of adversity, it's quite remarkable. We've been monitoring your progress since your first radio transmissions reached our sensors." Dr. Reeves couldn't contain his excitement. "You've been studying us all this time. The scientific exchange possibilities are staggering." "Indeed," Zorax replied. "We have much to share with you, but first, please, join us in the Grand Chamber. The Galactic Council is eager to make your official acquaintance." As they followed the Zarthans deeper into the station, Ilara's mind raced. A Galactic Council. Just how vast was the interstellar community they were about to join? The Grand Chamber lived up to its name. It was a colossal, circular room with a domed ceiling that seemed to display a real-time map of the galaxy. Holographic figures flickered around a central platform, representatives of countless alien species, all turning their attention to the human delegation as they entered. Zorax addressed the assembly. Esteemed members of the Galactic Council, I present to you the representatives of humanity, a species that has just achieved interstellar travel. A cacophony of alien voices filled the chamber, some expressing welcome, others skepticism, and a few even voicing concern. One voice rose above the rest, belonging to a being that seemed to be composed entirely of shimmering energy. Zorax, are you certain this is wise? The humans are barely out of their cradle. Their history is fraught with conflict and destruction. Are they truly ready for the responsibilities of a spacefaring civilization? Ilara stepped forward, her voice clear and unwavering. With all due respect, we may be young as a spacefaring species, but we have faced countless challenges and overcome them all. Our history has its dark chapters, yes, but it has also forged us into a resilient, adaptable, and innovative people. We come here not just to learn, but to contribute, to be part of something greater than ourselves. Her words seemed to resonate with many of the alien representatives. Zorax nodded approvingly. Well said, Captain Chen. It is precisely this spirit that has intrigued us about humanity. While it is true that they are young, their potential is undeniable. Over the next several hours, Ilara and her team engaged in discussions with various members of the Galactic Council. They learned of the vast network of civilizations spanning the galaxy, of incredible technologies beyond their wildest dreams, and of the complex political landscape they were now a part of. As the human delegation prepared to return to the horizon, Zorax approached Ilara privately. Captain, I must confess something to you. While many on the Council are excited about humanity's emergence, there are those who fear your potential. Your species adapts and innovates at a rate unlike anything we've seen before. Some worry that if given access to advanced galactic technology, humans might become unpredictable. Ilara considered this carefully. I understand their concerns, Overseer, but I assure you, our greatest desire is to peacefully coexist and contribute to this galactic community. We've learned from our past mistakes and are committed to a better future. Zorax's multifaceted eyes seemed to peer into her very soul. I believe you, Captain, and I will advocate for humanity's full inclusion in galactic affairs. But be warned, not all species will be as welcoming. Proceed with caution as you take your first steps into this larger universe. As the horizon broke away from the Zarthan station, its crew bursting with excitement over all they had learned, Ilara couldn't shake a feeling of both anticipation and trepidation. Humanity had dreamed of this moment for centuries, but the reality was far more complex than anyone could have imagined. Little did they know, their arrival on the galactic stage was about to set in motion a chain of events that would reshape the very fabric of interstellar society. Humanity's journey among the stars had only just begun, and the true test of their species was yet to come. Rising tensions. 5 years had passed since humanity's first contact with the Zarthans and the Galactic Council. In that short time, Earth had undergone a transformation unlike anything in its history. The exchange of knowledge and technology with alien civilizations had catapulted human society forward by centuries, if not millennia. Dr. Amelia Donovan stood in her lab at the newly established Galactic Sciences Institute in Geneva, marveling at the holographic display before her. It showed the intricate workings of a Zarthan quantum reactor, a power source capable of meeting Earth's energy needs 1,000 times over. It's incredible, she muttered to herself, making notes on her datapad. If we can successfully reverse engineer this technology, we could have a working prototype within months, not years. A chime from her communication device interrupted her thoughts. It was a priority message from Admiral Viktor Petrov, the head of Earth's recently formed Space Defense Force. Dr. Donovan. The Admiral's gruff voice came through. I need you at Lunar Base Alpha immediately. There's been an incident. Amelia's brow furrowed. What kind of incident, Admiral? The kind we need to discuss in person. A shuttle will pick you up in an hour. Petrov out. As Amelia hastily prepared for her unexpected trip to the moon, she couldn't shake a feeling of unease. Relations with the galactic community have been growing increasingly strained over the past year. Humanity's rapid assimilation and improvement of alien technologies had made many species nervous. The shuttle ride to Lunar Base Alpha was tense and quiet. As they approached the massive dome of the base, Amelia could see unusual activity. Ships from Earth's fledgling defense fleet in high orbit, their weapons visibly powered. Admiral Petrov met her as soon as she disembarked. His face was grim, the lines around his eyes deeper than usual. "Doctor, thank you for coming so quickly. Follow me." He led her to a secure briefing room deep within the base. Inside, a group of Earth's top military and scientific leaders were gathered around a holographic display showing a sector of space near Jupiter. 18 hours ago, Petrov began without preamble. One of our deep space research vessels, the ES Galileo, was attacked and destroyed in the Jupiter sector. We lost all hands. Amelia gasped. Attacked? By whom? A woman Amelia recognized as the director of Earth Intelligence stepped forward. "We're not certain, but our analysis suggests Zarthan weapons signatures." "That's impossible," Amelia protested. "The Zarthans have been our allies, our teachers. Why would they attack us?" Petrov's voice was hard. "That's what we need to find out. But this isn't the first troubling incident. Over the past months, we've detected numerous attempts to hack our networks, to sabotage our technological development. We kept it quiet to avoid panic, but now we can no longer ignore the possibility that some factions within the galactic community see us as a threat." The intelligence director finished. Amelia's mind raced. "Have we contacted the Galactic Council? Surely they wouldn't condone such actions." "We've tried," Petrov replied, "but our usual channels of communication have been mysteriously silent. It's as if we're being isolated." The implications were staggering. Humanity, so recently welcomed to the galactic stage, now faced the possibility of standing alone against vastly superior forces. "What do you need from me?" Amelia asked, her scientific curiosity giving way to a sense of duty. Petrov's eyes met hers. "Your work on the quantum reactor and other Zarthan technologies is now our top priority. If we're going to defend ourselves, we need every advantage we can get." Over the next weeks, as tensions continued to rise, Amelia threw herself into her work with renewed vigor. Earth's leaders attempted to re-establish contact with the Galactic Council, but their efforts were met with evasion or outright silence. Then came the ultimatum. It arrived on all Earth's communication channels simultaneously, a message from High Counselor Dexon of the Zarthans. His usually melodious voice was cold and threatening. "People of Earth, your rapid technological advancement and blatant disregard for galactic protocols can no longer be tolerated. You have become a destabilizing force in this sector. Cease all research into advanced technologies immediately and submit to direct Zarthan oversight, or face the consequences." The response from Earth's united government was swift and unequivocal. Humanity would not be bullied or controlled. They had worked too hard, come too far, to simply give up their independence. As the deadline set by the Zarthans approached, Earth prepared for the worst. The fledgling Space Defense Force was mobilized. Civilian populations were moved to underground shelters, and every scrap of advanced technology was put to use in strengthening Earth's defenses. Amelia worked tirelessly, leading a team of the brightest minds on the planet in an effort to unlock the full potential of the alien tech they'd acquired. Progress came in leaps and bounds, driven by the urgency of their situation. On the eve of the Zarthan deadline, Amelia made a breakthrough. She burst into the war room at Lunar Base Alpha, where Earth's leaders were discussing strategy. "We've done it," she announced breathlessly. "We've not only replicated the Zarthan quantum reactor technology, we've improved upon it. The power output is beyond anything we've seen before." Admiral Petrov leaned forward, hope glimmering in his eyes for the first time in weeks. "Can it be weaponized?" Amelia nodded solemnly. "Yes, we're calling it the Quantum Lance. It has the potential to disable even the largest Zarthan ships without destroying them completely. A ripple of excitement went through the room. This could change everything. But before they could fully digest this new information, alarms blared throughout the base. The main view screen flickered to life, showing a terrifying sight. A massive fleet of Zarthan warships dropping out of faster-than-light travel near Mars. The attack had begun. Earth's defenders scrambled to their ships, ready to meet the threat head-on. But they were outnumbered and outgunned. The Zarthan fleet brushed aside the human defenses around Mars with ease, their energy weapons turning the red planet's fledgling colonies into fields of molten glass. As the enemy approached Earth, humanity's leaders faced a grim choice: sue for peace and accept subjugation, or fight against overwhelming odds. In the end, it wasn't much of a choice at all. Admiral Petrov's voice rang out across all channels, broadcast to every human ship and settlement in the solar system. This is Admiral Viktor Petrov of the Earth Space Defense Force. To all human forces, engage the enemy. To all civilians, do not lose hope. We may be outnumbered, we may be outgunned, but we will not go quietly. We are humanity, and we do not surrender. A roar of defiance echoed across the communications network. Ships that had been retreating turned to face the oncoming Zarthan fleet. On Earth, in underground bunkers and hastily fortified cities, humans from all walks of life prepared to resist the alien invaders. Amelia watched from Lunar Base Alpha as the battle unfolded. Earth's ships, though fewer in number, fought with a ferocity that seemed to take the Zarthans by surprise. The new quantum lance technology proved devastatingly effective, disabling Zarthan ships with pinpoint accuracy. But it wasn't enough. Wave after wave of alien ships poured into the system. Earth's defenses were slowly but surely being overwhelmed. As all seemed lost, a new signal cut through the chaos of battle. It was a transmission, not from Earth or the Zarthans, but from deep space. "Attention all combatants," a familiar voice rang out. It was Zorax, the Zarthan overseer who had first welcomed humanity to the galactic community. This conflict must cease immediately. By order of the Galactic Council, all Zarthan forces are to stand down and withdraw from the Sol system. Confusion rippled through both fleets. The Zarthan ships hesitated, their attack faltering. Zorax's transmission continued. "To the people of Earth, we owe you a profound apology. The actions taken against you were not sanctioned by the full Galactic Council. A faction within our government, fearful of your potential, acted unilaterally. Their treachery has been discovered, and they will be held accountable." A collective sigh of relief went up from Earth's defenders, but Admiral Petrov remained cautious. "And why should we trust you now?" he demanded. "Because," Zorax replied, "you have proven yourselves beyond our wildest expectations. Your technology, your tactics, your sheer determination in the face of overwhelming odds. You have demonstrated that humanity is not just ready for the galactic stage, but that you are a force to be reckoned with." As the Zarthan fleet began to withdraw, the full impact of what had transpired began to sink in. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged, battered but unbroken. They had proven themselves not just to the Zarthans, but to the entire galactic community. In the aftermath of the battle, as the work of rebuilding began, Amelia Donovan stood once again in her lab, looking out at the star-filled sky. The galaxy had underestimated humanity, had tried to keep them down. But in doing so, they had only awakened a sleeping giant. Humanity's journey among the stars had taken an unexpected turn, but one thing was certain: they would face whatever challenges lay ahead with the same indomitable spirit that had brought them this far. The age of human ascendancy in the galaxy had only just begun. Galactic conflict. The years following the Zarthan incursion were a time of rapid change for humanity. Earth, once a solitary blue marble in the vastness of space, had become a bustling hub of interstellar activity. The Sol system bristled with defenses, a testament to humanity's determination never to be caught off guard again. But beyond their home system, humans had begun to make their mark on the galactic stage in earnest. Captain Zara Okonkwo stood on the bridge of the Dauntless, Earth's most advanced battlecruiser, as it patrolled the edges of human-controlled space. At 35, she was young for such a command, but the war had accelerated many careers. "Status report," she called out, her dark eyes scanning the holographic displays surrounding her command chair. Her XO, Commander Chen, responded promptly. "All systems nominal, Captain. We're detecting usual traffic along the Orion trade routes, but nothing out of the ordinary." Zara nodded, but couldn't shake a feeling of unease. It had been 5 years since the battle for Earth, and while open hostilities with the Zarthans had ceased, tensions remained high. The galaxy was a powder keg, and humanity's rapid expansion was the spark that threatened to ignite it. Suddenly, alarms blared across the bridge. "Multiple vessels dropping out of FTL," the tactical officer shouted. "Signatures match. Krell warships." Zara's blood ran cold. The Krell were a warrior race, longtime rivals of the Zarthans. They had been suspiciously quiet during the conflict with Earth, but rumors suggested they had been watching humanity's rise with great interest. "Battle stations," Zara commanded, her voice steady despite the adrenaline surging through her veins. "Shields up, weapons hot. Hail them." The main view screen flickered to life, revealing the craggy, reptilian features of a Krell commander. Its yellow eyes gleamed with an unsettling intelligence. "Greetings, humans," the Krell's voice rumbled through the translator. "I am War Chief Groknak of the Krell Dominion. We have come to test your mettle." Zara's mind raced. This was a delicate situation. The wrong move could plunge humanity into another interstellar war. "War Chief Groknak, this is Captain Zara Okonkwo of the Earth Federation. We have no quarrel with the Krell. State your intentions." Groknak's lipless mouth curved into what might have been a smile. "No quarrel? Perhaps not yet, but you humans have upset the balance of power in this sector. The Zarthans grow weak, corrupted by their technology. We Krell beleague in strength, and you have shown great strength. We wish to see it firsthand." Before Zara could respond, the Krell ships opened fire. The Dauntless rocked under the assault, but its shields, reverse-engineered from Zarthan technology and improved upon, held firm. "Return fire," Zara ordered. "Target their weapons systems. I want them disabled, not destroyed." The battle that ensued was fierce but brief. The Dauntless, despite being outnumbered, proved more than a match for the Krell warships. Its advanced weapons tore through the enemy shields with surgical precision, disabling their primary systems without destroying the vessels entirely. As the last Krell ship went dark, drifting powerless in space, Zara reopened communications. "War Chief Groknak, this test of yours is over. Stand down and prepare to be boarded, or we will be forced to take more drastic measures." There was a long pause before Groknak responded, his voice filled with a mix of anger and, was that respect? "You fight well, humans. Perhaps there is more to you than we thought. We will withdraw. For now. But know this. The Krell are watching. Your rise has not gone unnoticed, and there are others in the galaxy who fear what you may become." As the Krell ships limped away, jumping to FTL as soon as their systems were back online, Zara couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning of a much larger conflict. Her suspicions were confirmed mere hours later when a priority transmission came through from Earth Command. Admiral Victor Petrov's weathered face appeared on the screen, his expression grim. "Captain Okonkwo, I've received your report on the Krell encounter. Unfortunately, you're not the only one who's had uninvited guests. We're getting reports from all over human space, prodding attacks, hit and run strikes. It seems the Krell were just the opening salvo." Zara's heart sank. "A coordinated effort, sir." Petrov nodded. "We believe so. Intelligence suggests that a coalition of species, fearful of our rapid advancement, has formed to contain humanity. The Zarthans are trying to mediate, but their influence has waned since their unauthorized attack on Earth. Your orders, sir. Return to Earth immediately. We're mobilizing the fleet. The diplomatic channels are still open, but prepare for the worst, Captain. Petrov out. As the Dauntless set course for Earth, Zora couldn't help but reflect on how quickly things had escalated. Humanity had sought the stars seeking knowledge and allies, but had found a galaxy far more dangerous and divided than they could have imagined. The next few weeks were a blur of activity. The entire human race mobilized for war on a scale never before seen in its history. Shipyards worked around the clock, churning out vessels equipped with the latest hybrid human-alien technology. Every colony world bristled with defenses, and civilian ships were retrofitted for combat roles. On Earth, in the sprawling complex of the unified Earth government headquarters, leaders from every nation gathered to plan humanity's response. The debate was fierce. Some advocated for a preemptive strike against the alien coalition, while others pushed for a purely defensive stance. In the end, a middle path was chosen. Humanity would not fire the first shot, but they would be ready when it came. And come it did. The attack, when it finally arrived, was overwhelming in its scale. Fleets from a dozen different species descended upon human-controlled systems, from the outer colonies all the way to Sol itself. The sky above Earth filled with more ships than stars, their weapons casting an eerie glow across the planet's surface. But humanity was ready. The battle for Earth this time was not the desperate, one-sided fight it had been against the Zarthans. Human ships met the invaders head-on, their advanced weapons and tactics taking a heavy toll on the alien fleet. On the ground, mechs and power-armored infantry units, technology perfected in the years since first contact, repelled landing parties with ferocious efficiency. Captain Zara Okonkwo found herself in the thick of the fighting, the Dauntless leading a task force charged with protecting Earth's lunar colonies. The void of space lit up with weapons fire, destroyed ships blooming like short-lived stars. Concentrate fire on that Krell dreadnought. Zara commanded, her voice steady despite the chaos around her. If we can take out their flagship, we might be able to break their formation. The Dauntless's main cannon, a refined version of the quantum lance, lashed out. The beam of coherent energy sliced through the Krell ship shields like they weren't even there, gutting the massive vessel from stem to stern. As the dreadnought exploded, taking several nearby ships with it, a cheer went up from the Dauntless's crew. But their celebration was short-lived. Captain, her sensor officer called out, panic evident in his voice. We're detecting a massive energy buildup from the alien fleet. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. Zara's blood ran cold as she saw the readings. Whatever the aliens were planning, it had the potential to destroy not just Earth's defenses, but the entire planet. In that moment, as she stared death in the face, Captain Zara Okonkwo made a decision that would alter the course of the war and change humanity's place in the galaxy forever. All ships, this is Captain Okonkwo. She broadcast on all frequencies. Divert all power to your quantum lance systems and target these coordinates. She quickly input the location of the energy buildup. Fire on my mark, continuous beam. Let's show these bastards what humanity can do when we work together. As one, the human fleet responded. Hundreds of ships, from tiny fighters to massive dreadnoughts, all fired their quantum lances at the same point in space. The combined energy was beyond anything ever witnessed in galactic history. For a moment, it seemed as if space itself was tearing apart. The alien superweapon, whatever it had been, was overwhelmed by the sheer power of humanity's response. A blinding flash lit up the solar system, and when it faded, a massive chunk of the invading fleet was simply gone. The remaining alien ships, their formation shattered, and their ultimate weapon destroyed, began to retreat. Humanity had held the line. As the dust settled and the full extent of their victory became clear, a new transmission came through, not from the retreating aliens, but from the Galactic Council itself. The holographic form of a being Zora didn't recognize, clearly not Zarthan, appeared on the Dauntless's bridge. Its voice was filled with a mixture of awe and trepidation. "People of Earth," it began, "I am High Counselor Xandor. What we have witnessed here today, it changes everything. The coalition that sought to contain you acted without the Council's approval, driven by fear. But you have proven that fear to be misplaced. In the face of annihilation, you did not cower or break. Instead, you came together and achieved the impossible." The High Counselor paused, seeming to choose its next words carefully. "The Galactic Council extends an invitation to humanity, not as a junior member, but as equals. The galaxy is changing, and it's clear that you will play a pivotal role in shaping its future." As the transmission ended, Zara looked out at the starfield beyond her ship. The battle was over, but she knew that humanity's greatest challenges and greatest triumphs still lay ahead. They had earned their place among the stars, and now it was time to help forge a new era of galactic peace and cooperation. The age of human ascendancy had truly begun, human ingenuity unleashed. In the wake of humanity's stunning victory against the alien coalition, the solar system buzzed with activity. Earth had not only survived, but had emerged as a major galactic power. The invitation to join the Galactic Council as equals was a testament to how far humanity had come in such a short time. Dr. Amelia Donovan stood in her lab at the Titan Research Station, surrounded by holographic displays showing the latest breakthroughs in human-alien hybrid technology. At 45, her hair was streaked with gray, a testament to the stress of the past decade. But her eyes still sparkled with the same curiosity that had driven her since childhood. "Dr. Donovan." A voice called from the doorway. It was her assistant, a young prodigy named Raj. "The council delegation has arrived. They're waiting in the conference room." Amelia nodded, taking a deep breath. This meeting could change everything. "Thank you, Raj. I'll be right there." As she made her way through the station's gleaming corridors, Amelia couldn't help but marvel at how far they'd come. Titan, once a desolate moon of Saturn, now housed one of the most advanced research facilities in known space. It was here that humanity's brightest minds worked alongside alien scientists, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. The conference room door slid open silently, revealing a diverse group of beings. There were Zarthans, their iridescent scales shimmering under the lights, alongside representatives from a dozen other species. At the head of the table sat High Counselor Xandor, its crystalline form refracting the light in mesmerizing patterns. "Dr. Donovan." Xandor's voice resonated in her mind, the Council's advanced translation technology making verbal speech unnecessary. "We are eager to hear about your latest work. Rumors of your advancements have spread far and wide." Amelia smiled, activating the room's holographic projector. "Thank you, High Counselor. What we're about to show you represents the culmination of years of collaborative research." The air above the table shimmered, forming into the image of what looked like a sleek, almost organic-looking ship. "This," Amelia began, her voice filled with pride, "is the Nexus. It's not just a ship, it's a breakthrough in biomechanical engineering. By combining Zarthan quantum technology, Krell adaptive materials, and human eye, we've created a vessel capable of things previously thought impossible." The assembled aliens leaned forward, their interest piqued. Amelia continued, the hologram shifting to show the ship's internal systems. "The Nexus can adapt to any environment, from the crushing pressures of gas giants to the vacuum of intergalactic space. Its hull is comprised of programmable matter that can reconfigure itself on the fly. But the real breakthrough is its propulsion system." With a gesture, Amelia zoomed in on the ship's core. "We call it the fold drive. It doesn't just move through space. It folds space-time itself, allowing for near-instantaneous travel across vast distances. In our simulations, it could cross the entire Milky Way in a matter of days." A murmur of astonishment rippled through the room. Even Xandor seemed taken aback. "Dr. Donovan, if what you're saying is true, this technology could revolutionize galactic travel and exploration." But surely the energy requirements for such a device would be astronomical. Amelia finished, a glint in her eye. That's where another of our breakthroughs comes in. We've managed to tap into what we're calling zero-point energy, drawing power from the quantum foam of space-time itself. The Nexus generates more energy than it uses, effectively solving the energy crisis that has plagued spacefaring civilizations for millennia. The room erupted in a cacophony of excited chatter, each species discussing the implications in their own languages. Xandor raised a crystalline appendage, silencing the room. Dr. Donovan, what you've presented here is nothing short of revolutionary. But I must ask, why are you sharing this with us? Surely humanity could use this technology to dominate the galaxy if you so chose. Amelia's expression turned serious. Because, High Counselor, we've learned from history, both our own and that of the galaxy. Power, when hoarded, leads to conflict. We believe that by sharing this technology, we can usher in a new era of cooperation and exploration. The Nexus isn't just a ship, it's a bridge between civilizations. Xandor was silent for a long moment, its crystalline form shimmering as it processed this information. Finally, it spoke. Your wisdom does you credit, Dr. Donovan. The Council will need time to discuss the full implications of this technology. But speaking personally, I believe this could be the dawn of a new age for our galaxy. As the meeting adjourned and the alien delegates filed out, discussing excitedly among themselves, Amelia felt a sense of profound satisfaction. This was why she had become a scientist, to push the boundaries of knowledge and make a difference on a cosmic scale. But even as humanity celebrated its technological triumph, new challenges loomed on the horizon. Months passed, and the Nexus prototype was ready for its first real-world test. A crew of humans and aliens had been carefully selected for this historic mission. Captain Zara Okonkwo, hero of the Battle for Earth, was the natural choice to lead the expedition. As the Nexus prepared for launch from the orbital shipyards above Mars, excitement built across the galaxy. This maiden voyage would take them to the very edge of the Milky Way, a journey that would have taken years with conventional FTL travel. Zara stood on the bridge of the Nexus, marveling at the seamless blend of alien and human technology around her. Her crew, a mix of species each chosen for their expertise, worked in perfect harmony. All systems are go, Captain, her Zarthan first officer reported. The fold drive is primed and ready. Zara took a deep breath. All right. Let's make history. Engage the fold drive. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, reality itself seemed to ripple around the ship. Stars streaked past at impossible speeds, and in the blink of an eye, they were staring out at the inky blackness of intergalactic space. The crew erupted in cheers. They had done it, crossed the entire Milky Way in mere moments. But their celebration was short-lived. Captain, the sensor officer, a Krell, called out, his typically gruff voice tinged with concern. I'm detecting something out there. It's massive, and it's heading straight for the Milky Way. Zara rushed to the sensor station, her eyes widening as she took in the readings. What they were seeing defied comprehension. A construct of some kind, larger than anything ever recorded. It was as if someone had built a Dyson sphere around an entire galaxy. It's not natural, Zara muttered, her mind racing. This is a construct of some kind, but who could build something on this scale? As if in answer to her question, a signal began to penetrate the Nexus's communications array. It was like nothing they had ever encountered. Not radio waves or any known form of transmission. It seemed to be communicating directly into their minds. The message was simple, but chilling. We have awakened. Your galaxy is not ready. We will cleanse it to make way for what comes next. Zara's blood ran cold. They had come seeking new frontiers, new knowledge, but instead had stumbled upon something ancient and terrifying. Whatever this was, it posed a threat not just to humanity, but to all life in the Milky Way. We need to warn the Council, Zara said, her voice steady despite the fear gripping her heart. "Prepare the full drive for an immediate return jump." As the Nexus prepared to jump back to known space, Zara couldn't shake the feeling that they had just witnessed the opening act of a cosmic drama, one in which humanity and its newfound allies would play a crucial role. The return journey was tense, the crew acutely aware of the monumental discovery they had made and the grave threat it posed. As soon as they were within range, Zara sent an emergency transmission to Earth and the Galactic Council, outlining what they had encountered. The response was immediate. An emergency session of the Council was convened, with representatives from every major species in attendance. The chamber was filled with a palpable sense of dread as Zora presented their findings. "We don't know who or what built this megastructure," she concluded, "but their intentions are clear. They view our entire galaxy as unworthy, something to be cleansed. We're facing an extinction-level threat, not just to humanity, but to all life as we know it." The council chamber erupted into chaos, each species reacting to the news in their own way. Some called for immediate military action, others for attempts at communication. A few even suggested surrendering to these vastly superior beings. It was Dr. Amelia Donovan who finally brought order to the proceedings. "Counselors, please," her voice cut through the din. "We don't have time for panic or infighting. This threat is beyond anything any of us have faced before, but we have something now that we didn't have in the past: unity." She gestured to the assembled representatives. "Look around you. A decade ago, many of our species were at war. Now we stand together. Our combined knowledge, our diverse perspectives, these are our greatest strengths. The Nexus was just the beginning of what we can achieve when we work together." High Counselor Xander's crystalline form pulsed with agreement. "Dr. Donovan is right. We must pool our resources, our knowledge, our very best minds. We may have awoken this ancient threat, but together we might just have a chance of surviving it." As the Council began to formulate a galaxy-wide response to the impending threat, Zara couldn't help but feel a mix of fear and excitement. They stood on the precipice of the greatest challenge their galaxy had ever faced. But they also had an opportunity to forge a unity unlike anything seen before in the history of the Milky Way. Humanity, so recently a newcomer to the galactic stage, now found itself at the forefront of this monumental effort. Their adaptability, their drive to overcome impossible odds, these would be crucial in the coming conflict. As the meeting adjourned and plans were set in motion, Zara shared a look with Amelia. They both knew that the real work was just beginning. The fate of not just humanity, but all sentient life in the Milky Way, hung in the balance. The galaxy was about to face its greatest test, and humanity, against all odds, would play a pivotal role in determining its outcome. A new galactic order. The years that followed the Nexus expedition's fateful discovery were a whirlwind of activity across the Milky Way. The looming threat of the extragalactic beings, now dubbed the Cosmics by the galactic media, had served as a catalyst for unprecedented cooperation among the galaxy's diverse species. Dr. Amelia Donovan found herself at the heart of this galaxy-wide effort. The Titan Research Station had been expanded into a massive complex spanning the entire moon, with scientists from hundreds of species working tirelessly to develop technologies to defend against the impending invasion. On this particular day, Amelia stood before a holographic representation of the Milky Way, surrounded by some of the brightest minds the galaxy had to offer. The map was dotted with pulsing lights, each representing a piece of the defensive network they had been building. "The Sentinel array is nearly complete," Amelia announced, her voice carrying a mix of pride and apprehension. "Once activated, it will create a galaxy-wide detection grid, giving us early warning of any incursion." A Zarthan scientist, his scales shimmering with excitement, chimed in. "And with the quantum entanglement communication nodes we've integrated, we'll be able to coordinate our defenses instantly across vast distances." Amelia nodded, but her expression remained grave. "It's an impressive achievement, but will it be enough? The cosmic's technology is beyond anything we've ever encountered. Before anyone could respond, an urgent message came through. It was from Captain Zara Okonkwo, now Admiral of the United Galactic Fleet. Dr. Donovan. Zara's holographic form flickered into existence, her face etched with concern. We've detected something. The Sentinel array picked up a massive energy surge at the edge of the galaxy. They're coming. Amelia's heart raced, but years of facing impossible challenges had steeled her resolve. Understood, Admiral. How long do we have? Based on their current trajectory and speed, we estimate they'll reach the outer rim worlds in less than a week. A week. After years of preparation, it all came down to this. Amelia turned to her team, seeing a mix of fear and determination in their eyes. You heard the Admiral. It's time to put everything we've developed to the test. Let's show these cosmics what a united galaxy can do. As the scientists rushed to make final preparations, Amelia couldn't help but reflect on how far they'd come. The defensive technologies they'd created were marvels that would have been unthinkable just a decade ago. Planetary shield generators, powered by zero-point energy. Fleets of autonomous drone ships controlled by hybrid AI. And at the heart of it all, an upgraded version of the Nexus, serving as the command center for the entire defense network. Across the galaxy, civilians were being evacuated from outer worlds, moved to fortified core systems. Every ship capable of combat had been pressed into service, forming the largest fleet ever assembled in the history of the Milky Way. Admiral Zara Okonkwo stood on the bridge of the Nexus II, surveying the massive armada spread out before her. Ships of all shapes and sizes, representing every spacefaring race in the galaxy, moved in perfect formation. It was a sight that would have been impossible just a few years ago. Admiral, her Krell tactical officer growled, the cosmics have entered the galaxy. They're bypassing the outer rim, heading straight for the core systems. Zara's eyes narrowed. This wasn't what they had expected. They must have detected our defenses. They're going for a decapitation strike. She keyed the fleet-wide comm. All ships prepare for immediate fold space jump. We meet them head-on. In a dazzling display of coordinated fold space technology, the entire fleet vanished, reappearing moments later in the path of the oncoming cosmic armada. What they saw defied comprehension. The cosmic ships, if they could be called that, were like nothing they had ever encountered. Massive structures that seemed to bend and distort the very fabric of space-time around them, making it hard to focus on their true form. Open a channel, Zara commanded, her voice steady despite the awe-inspiring sight before her. To all cosmic vessels, this is Admiral Zara Okonkwo of the United Galactic Fleet. You are entering protected space. We demand that you halt your advance and state your intentions. For a long moment, there was silence. Then, a response came, not through conventional communications, but directly into the minds of every being in the fleet. Your demand is irrelevant. Your galaxy is flawed, imperfect. We are the shapers, and we will remake it as we see fit. Your existence is an aberration that will be corrected. Zara's jaw clenched. So much for diplomacy. All ships, battle formations, engage at will. The battle that ensued was unlike anything the Milky Way had ever witnessed. The combined fleet threw everything they had at the cosmic ships. Quantum lances, antimatter torpedoes, gravity weapons that could tear apart stars. At first, it seemed as if their attacks were having no effect. The cosmic vessels shrugged off blows that could have shattered planets. But slowly, almost imperceptibly, the tide began to turn. The Krell's berserker squadrons, piloting ships that were more weapon than vessel, managed to breach the distortion fields around one of the smaller cosmic ships. The resulting explosion was visible across half the galaxy. Emboldened, the fleet pressed their attack. Zarth and precision strikes, guided by predictive AI, found weak points in the cosmic defenses. Human-designed adaptive shield technology allowed ships to withstand attacks that should have vaporized them instantly. But the cosmics were far from defeated. Their counterattack was devastating. entire squadrons wiped out in the blink of an eye. Reality itself seemed to warp and twist around their weapons. As the battle raged, Dr. Amelia Donovan and her team worked frantically on Titan. They had been analyzing the cosmic technology throughout the fight and had made a startling discovery. Admiral Okonkwo, Amelia's voice came through on a priority channel. The cosmics, they're not just bending space. They're manipulating the fundamental constants of the universe itself. That's how their technology works. Zara dodged a blast that disintegrated a nearby cruiser. That's fascinating, Doctor, but how does it help us? Because we can use it against them, Amelia replied, excitement clear in her voice, despite the dire situation. The Nexus IO's fold drive. If we reconfigure it, we can create a localized field that nullifies their control over these constants. It would render their tech inert. It was a desperate gambit, but at this point, they had nothing to lose. Do it, Zora commanded. What followed was a nerve-wracking process of on-the-fly engineering, with Amelia's team guiding the Nexus O's crew through the reconfiguration while under heavy fire. Ship after ship sacrificed themselves to buy time, their crews knowing that the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. Finally, the modifications were complete. It's done. Amelia's voice was hoarse with exhaustion. Admiral, you'll have to take the Nexus II into the heart of their fleet. The effect will be centered on your position. Zara nodded grimly. It was a likely suicide mission, but there was no other choice. All ships, clear a path to the cosmic flagship. We're ending this now. The United Fleet rallied, throwing everything they had into one final push. The Nexus I surged forward, escorted by the remnants of the once mighty armada. As they approached the massive cosmic flagship, Zora gave the order. Activate the field. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, reality itself seemed to hiccup. It was as if a bubble of normal space had suddenly appeared in the midst of the chaos. The effect on the cosmic ships was immediate and dramatic. Their form-defying structures began to waver and distort. Weapons that had been tearing apart the fabric of space-time sputtered and died. It's working. Amelia's voice was triumphant. Their technology relies on manipulating physics itself. In normal space, they're vulnerable. Seizing the moment, the United Fleet launched an all-out assault. Ships that had seemed invincible mere moments ago now crumbled under the combined firepower of 100 species. The cosmic flagship, a structure larger than some moons, began to break apart. As it did, a final message echoed in the minds of all present. Impossible. You were meant to be remade. How can you resist the inevitable? With a flash that momentarily outshone the galactic core, the cosmic flagship vanished. The remaining invaders, their advantage lost, began a hasty retreat. As the realization of victory slowly dawned on the battered but triumphant fleet, cheers and cries of joy echoed across every communication channel. Against all odds, the Milky Way had stood united and emerged victorious. In the months that followed, the galaxy began the long process of rebuilding. The cost had been enormous. Entire worlds had been lost, and the list of the fallen was beyond counting. But from the ashes of this conflict, a new galactic order began to emerge. The lines between species began to blur as the bonds forged in battle led to deeper cooperation and understanding. Technological breakthroughs made during the war ushered in a new age of prosperity and exploration. At a ceremony marking the formation of the new Galactic Union, Admiral Zara Okonkwo and Dr. Amelia Donovan stood side by side, recipients of the highest honors the United Galaxy could bestow. High Counselor Xandor, addressing the assembled representatives of every known sentient species, spoke words that would be remembered for generations. Today, we stand not as separate races, but as a united galaxy. We faced extinction and emerged stronger. The humans have a saying, united we stand, divided we fall. Today, we stand united, not just against external threats, but for a brighter future for all. As Amelia looked out at the sea of diverse faces, she couldn't help but smile. Humanity had come so far, from a primitive species confined to a single world to playing a pivotal role in galactic affairs. But she knew this was just the beginning. Out there, beyond the edges of the Milky Way, lay countless other galaxies, each potentially home to wonders and challenges they couldn't yet imagine. The cosmics had been defeated, but they were unlikely to be the last threat the galaxy would face. But whatever came next, Amelia was confident that they would face it together. Humanity had found its place among the stars, not as conquerors or subjects, but as equals in a grand cosmic community. As the ceremony concluded and the assembled beings mingled, sharing stories and forging new connections, Amelia caught Zora's eye. They shared a knowing look, one that spoke of the challenges they had overcome and the adventures yet to come. The galaxy was entering a new age, and humanity, with its indomitable spirit and boundless curiosity, would be at the forefront of shaping it. The stars, once so distant and unreachable, now beckoned with endless possibilities. The journey that had begun with humanity's first tentative steps into space had led them here, to a future brighter and more fantastic than anyone could have ever imagined. And it was only the beginning.